seats for occupants. And got little baby things.
Crazy, bro.
Put up. Lock it in.
Put your in there and you're good.
Lock it in again.
You pull the strap.
Okay, come on. No, don't break it. Thank you.
You're gonna need a new one when I'm done with this fucking thing. Appreciate it. Ooh, something smells good. Yeah, vagina. We're going to the Ever Ready. We're celebrating 1 good year of podcast. One hell of a year for me and my people. Celebration dinner. You stay classy.
He hit you with his jab.
What kind of toast you get, my guy?
Rye guy.
Right here, bruh.
That's good.
That is good.
I was right over there, bro. I was telling you.
over here.
I was right over there.
Squirt that shit.
Exactly. You gotta get a little of that chuck catch, you know? It's a video!
60-second podcast. You're on New Year.
Happy
You
New Year.
slug. You're dirty. You look like you got ringworm. Dusty animal.
All right,
Yeah,
if you're
fucking
editing
you.
a video, you have
Get
to.
out of here. Zach's blind. Vocal warm-ups. Mommy made me eat my M&Ms.
Unique New York.
The arsonist couldn't get a bank loan. And we are live 2022, baby. Actually, this is a perfect episode for talking about how to start the new year. You with us today, Zach? That's pretty much how you
Hey guys, how you doing today?
That's pretty much how you get started. This guy's like, yeah,
Pretty crazy.
be early.
9 o'clock, I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna be here till 10. Showed up at 10:15.
Yeah, it was like we're finally getting that winter weather. It's cold as hell out there.
What I brought a truck for, and I drove here all the way in two-wheel drive. Forgot to put it in slippery and all-wheel drive. So
Slippery, that's all right.
slide around like crazy.
You made it.
It was
That's all-
fun, though.
That's all that matters. You made it, and we all made it to 2022. Another year, hopefully not filled with COVID, although it's starting pretty bad. With the
Starting
COVID
pretty
shit.
bad.
But
Pretty
let
bad.
that be all we say about
I knocked on 7 doors yesterday. 5 people had COVID.
it. And now you do. That's 6. Damn. And now I do. Oh, shit. Now I'm playing. We're going to get shut down. CDC's calling
Well,
for us.
that's it. It was nice knowing you guys. You guys have a lovely time. Remember us.
So today we got some. I think it's awesome what we're talking about. Zach brought it to our attention. He's been telling everybody about it. You spoke about it at the sales conference. What is the name of this? I'll call it a product.
Jesse, don't sue me. I don't know if I'm gonna get sued for some stuff.
No, we're promoting.
It's free promotion. I
This
don't
is a
have
plug.
nothing to do with Jesse Itzler. I just use his program.
Who is Jesse Itzler? First of all,
Well, I'll tell you what he did. He did DM me back on Instagram. So I am kind of famous now.
shout out to Jesse. DM me, dog.
Oop. He is a guy who I don't know his full story, but he basically created and started NetJets with him and one of his buddies, which
What's
is like
NetJets?
a Uber jet company.
Wow.
Like you have a membership to a jet.
So for people who
Platform.
don't make that much money to get around on jets.
I mean, they still have to make some pretty fucking
Yeah, I'm
serious
kidding,
money.
bro.
I know.
It's a joke.
But he sold NetJets to Warren Buffett for $5 billion. That was his first venture. Then he had Zico Water. If you ever had the coconut water, the biggest brand is Zico, which was his.
Yep.
He sold that for I think a couple billion. His wife Sarah Blakely, she owned Spanx, started Spanx, and she just sold it too a couple years ago.
So this man is shrouded in success.
He knows what the fuck he's doing. That's all.
Apparently.
He very much knows what he's doing, and he's got his hands in everything. I don't know, every
Now
single
he's got
thing,
his
but
hands in what I understand to be
the greatest
calendar.
calendar ever. The calendar before this year, I think the 2022 one, it said all calendars are not created equal, and I agree because it's a sick ass calendar.
yeah.
It's about as big as Tony.
Yeah.
If I laid you sideways,
So
it'd be
not
about
that
the
big,
same
people,
size.
but it's a good
Only about
size
2.5 feet.
It's a good size calendar.
You have to really squint to right inside the box. So it's a club actually. And I'll just give a detail of what everything is, and then we'll go into it a little bit. But basically, it's called Build Your Life Resume, and it's called entails you get English is hard. You get a life planner,
Yep.
you get a calendar, You get some gear and shit. I brought this in just to
shit. Okay.
get a little stainless steel little thing.
And you go online and sign up for this, obviously?
Yeah.
Subscription style?
I think you can still sign up, actually. There's like 4 more days because we have our first call. So you have a call every month with him.
Wow.
And then we have our first call on January 11th.
And you actually speak with him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's live on there and he talks to all of us,
And you can interject and speak with him? And
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So it's pretty cool.
I think I want to get
and we
in
have
on this.
and it comes with an app. So you go right here, Build Your Life Resume app, and you could like all post in it, and they give you all the events and stuff, and everyone's successes and everything. It's pretty cool.
Oh man, so it's like its own little social media to some extent.
Basically, yeah.
And what are you using this calendar to plan?
All right, so this has nothing to do with work. His thing, I mean, you can't listen. You could use the calendar for whatever you want.
Well, in your application, you're not
but
using it for work.
99% of people don't use it for work. I got to stand a little closer to the mic. 99% of people don't use it for work. They use it for life planning. So a lot of the times, like, I was just talking to your brother about this. People are always like, oh, I want to go to Cancun this year. Oh, I want to do this year. Oh, I want to do that. And they never plan it. So the whole thing about this is you're supposed to plan all of your things you're going to do before the year starts, which this is my last year. This is 2021, and I have my new one for 2022. But I want to store this for my files.
Right.
In 20 years, I'm going to be able to look at this and see what my Misogi was, Kevin's rule, and I'll explain that in a second. But
Your what? Your miss.
Misogi?
You're not just going to hop over that like everybody knows what that means.
I just said I'm explaining in a second.
Oh.
Yeah. But basically, the whole thing is it's about planning your life and building your life resume, and the fact that I'll explain Kevin's rule in 30 seconds, but you're supposed to do 6 Kevin's rule a year, and his whole thing is over the lifetime, you're 30, right? And you do 30 till you retire, quote unquote, 65.
Okay.
So 35 years.
Yep.
You do 6 Kevin's rule a year. You've created 210 memories that you would have never created before.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yeah.
And you've had 35 Misogis that you would have never done before. So now I gotta
Kevin's
explain
rule.
those
Let's
guys.
start with Kevin's rule.
So there is. Hold up.
And who the fuck is Kevin?
Things. All right. So Kevin is Jesse Itzler's, I guess, friend or whatever you want to call him. But I think he's a state trooper or he's a cop or something.
Shout out to Kev.
That's friends with Jesse, and he had a theory that he told Jesse like 5 or 6 years ago or whatever. And it's basically once every other month. So basically once every 8 weeks.
Yep.
You're supposed to do something, an event, a trip, or just something that you never would have done before, which is whether that you go
Like
away
your
for the
marathon.
weekend with your kids. No, that's Misogi, which
Oh,
I'll explain
okay.
in a second.
All right.
Which is, you go on a camping trip, which you never would have done 2-3 days. Or you
Right.
run like a little race, like you run a 5K race
Right.
with
You
your
go
buddies.
on a hike.
Yeah.
You fucking beat up a homeless
Correct.
guy.
Instead of watching football on Sunday, you go on a hike and then you go out with your wife. It could be like something really, really small.
just
if you don't-
something different.
Correct. He's been
Out of
doing this
your-
for 30
out
years
of your norm.
before he made a lot of money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you're building experiences.
Correct. That's all it is building experiences. And you're supposed to do 6 a year.
Making the book of your life a little
So
more
one
interesting.
every 8 weeks. And I don't know what. Look at all this. You split this thing in half. All my events were in the beginning of the year, or beginning of the months, which I don't know why. Because these are all, right, the months.
Yeah.
So I'll give you guys an example of like a couple of things. Beginning of the year, I took a trip to Salt Lake City, Utah. Never been there. It was a 3-day trip. Me and your brother went, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed in a 5-star hotel. That was my first time ever staying in a 5-star hotel. Second was we went to Disney World for 4 or 5 days, whatever it was. Third was a trip to Florida. Fourth was a trip to Dallas. 5, trip to Lake Luzerne. 6, I went to Cowboy Stadium for the first time. I'm a Cowboys fan. I know we already lost like 6
Wait
subscribers.
a second. That's why you asked me to go to Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was
Random
on the
event,
board,
right?
bro.
I called you like 2 weeks before.
Called me. We were sitting at your house,
Yeah.
and you're like, "What are you doing next weekend?
Yeah.
You want to go to Dallas?" And I was like, "What the fuck? Is this guy crazy?" And then I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Life's
Booked a
short."
trip to Dallas.
Went to Dallas.
There you go.
So fun.
And I actually had 7. I took my last trip to Hunter Mountain for Sarah's birthday, or my birthday. But basically, this is stuff that without planning it, no one would ever do, you know?
Right. Right.
So the whole point of it is you're supposed to take these trips that you never would have done before. And these are pretty extreme. These are all, fucking plane rides and cost a couple bucks.
Right.
But it could be just, dude, go camping.
The closest
or
thing
go
I could
fishing.
compare it to, other than your regular calendar that you would just use for like work, it's like a vision board, kind of. without the vision.
But you're planning it as a
Right,
thing.
right. That's what I'm saying. It's like a combination.
You're actually writing this down, and this thing goes on your
holding
wall.
Yourself
and you look at it every day.
to the things that you say you're going to do instead of just saying. Because how many times have we even between the three of us, hey, let's plan a trip. Let's go to Dallas.
Everyone does that.
And we never see it through. Although this past year, we kind of did. I mean, I guess because it was on your Build Your Life
intentional
board. Right.
Intentions, dude, are huge.
Right.
Being intentional about I actually want to go on a trip.
You write it down and then you got to see it through.
And personally, like me and you, and probably even Bryce too, but we have kind of a little bit open schedules. Like I don't have kids yet. I don't have a job that I have to be there every single day, 9 to 5. You know what I mean? I kind of make my own schedule. So it's kind of easy for me to wing this sometimes. Even if I don't plan it, I can wing it. But, bro, someone who's got 2 kids and, you guys both work 9 to 5s, if you don't fucking plan it.
This could be a huge tool for them.
If you don't put your shit on a calendar and plan it, dude, it's never happening.
Right.
Never, ever, ever, ever happening, So if your life is busy, this is even more important. And again, I'm not getting paid for this. This is literally just Jesse Itzler's program, and I just think it's that good that I want to share it with you guys. Now, that's Kevin's rule. So, once every 8 weeks, you're supposed to do something, a trip.
Misogi. Tell us about that.
Misogi. I was supposed to only have one, but I couldn't just pick one. I feel like I did 3 things that were pretty substantial. And a Misogi is basically the definition is the Japanese tradition. That's a year-defining moment or event or time and place. So, if you run a marathon, so to speak, or if you do something that's pretty crazy, that is your year-defining moment, and you're supposed to have one every year so that you can kind of have a theme for the year.
Like the thing you look back, and if someone said, hey, what'd you do in 2021?
Correct.
I ran a marathon.
You ready? I'm going to ask you a question. Give me the biggest thing you did in 2019.
Was it 2019? No, that was 2020. 2019. Couldn't even tell you. I think 2019.
Give me the biggest thing you did in 2019.
I worked like a dog in 2019.
That's only 3 years ago. 4 years ago.
Couldn't even tell you.
I know.
Right.
I did start my real first music campaign.
Perfect. Okay, good. So you remember something. That's awesome. So
videos and performances.
I guarantee.
2020. I could have told you about the triple
that's why I
front
didn't
flip on a
ask you.
motorcycle.
That's why I didn't fucking ask you. I know. And listen, fucking shit, bro. 2021, last year. Tell me the biggest thing you did last year.
I rebuilt
your
life.
Misogi. But that's not a Misogi.
2019, didn't you guys embark on the journey at West Road with that property?
No, that started in 2018. We purchased it, but that's been a long-going project.
And listen, everyone's Misogi is different, but I'm talking about something big. Listen, you can have a little Misogi, but give me a big. Do you remember any
in
huge?
2020?
Yes, we know you ran into a wall. Okay.
2019,
more
I
important
started
than
my
that-
business too.
You did?
That's a Misogi. Start a
Yeah.
podcast. I got that right here. Start the podcast. I wrote that one down. But anyway, the point is, if you're a viewer and you're listening to this, try to think back. What's your biggest event for the last 5 years? You probably don't know.
Right.
And that's this whole point. And I keep this, I fold this up, and then it gets stored. And when I'm fucking 42, and I look back and I'm like, dude, what was I doing when I was 23? And I could tell you what my schedule looked like. That's pretty sick. You know what I mean?
What does Misogi stand for?
So yeah, Misogi, I said it before, but I'll say it again. No, you're good. Basically, and I'll tell you mine now that we're on it, but basically it's a Japanese tradition where it's a year-defining event. So it's one thing you do in your year, and it's supposed to define your year. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a big enough event that you remember it forever, basically. It's created a lot of memories and just something that is like a staple, So these Kevin's Rule trips, those are good. I'm going to remember I went to Disney World and all that stuff. But my Misogi was I ran my first marathon down in Dallas. That's something I'll never forget, And that's something that took a lot of pain, a lot of effort. It really changed me as a person, and that's the whole point. Yeah. You're supposed to plan a Misogi that's supposed to change you every year.
Person, right.
You follow me?
Like a big chapter of your life.
Now, I also completed 75 hard, which was probably just as hard as a marathon, if not harder, because it's 75 consecutive days.
Right.
which if you guys don't know 75 hard, I guess I'll explain that too. You should do this. Should be your Misogi this year because you can do
I'm
that.
going to try to run a marathon.
Okay,
I'm
so
still working on
okay,
that.
that's most likely his Misogi. I was going to ask you that. But 75 hard, this is another shout out and to what the fuck's his name? Andy Frisella, sorry. Andy Frisella,
Shout out, Andy.
75 hard. 2 workouts a day. They have to be 45 minutes each minimum.
One outside, one inside.
One has to be outside.
That sucks.
One has to be inside. Doesn't matter. Don't give a fuck what the weather is. You got to go outside and work out for 45 minutes. So 2 workouts a day, 1 gallon of water a day, no cheat meals, no alcohol, no drugs, no nothing. No cheat meals at all. If you have a fucking chip, you go back to day 1 and take a progress picture of it every day. And you have to do that for 75 days straight with unwavering discipline. You can't change it at all. So that was insane. I lost like 14 pounds or something. That was 75
My
hard.
guy was lean by the end of it.
Yeah, I was looking pretty chiseled. It was pretty sick. And then I ran a marathon at fucking 2:20.
Yeah, you put it all back on and run a marathon. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, the problem was, it's funny. I completed 75 hard on July 3rd, and July 4th, I went on a trip to Lake Luzerne. So all the habits I built were just fucked. Because I did like 3 days of drinking and partying, and then I was it. I just lost it all.
It's amazing how quickly you go back to fucking it up.
So bad. I was
know.
like, God damn it. But, and then I have kind of another Misogi that I think too, because this really changed my life. A trip to Greece. I went to Athens, Mykonos, Santorini. It was a 2-week-long trip. And just to put a little clip in, and then I'll let Tony start to talk a little bit, because I've been talking the whole time.
Well, you got all the info
I do.
on this one.
Speaking about college, right? Remember we spoke about college last episode?
2 episodes ago.
2 episodes ago? And and you might have even said this on the episode, but dude, if you went and traveled around the world, if you took the 50 grand that you were going to go in college debt and you backpacked around Europe or Germany, I don't care, anywhere, and you did that for like 6 months to a year at the same time, you would have taken that school and took that money and traveled, right? The amount of fucking lessons you would learn and things you would learn. Bro, when I went to Greece, it was like an out-of-body experience at some points, you know? Like, the craziest thing is first, and maybe this isn't even that crazy, but to me, I was mind-fucked. You're sitting in a restaurant, and it's busy as shit, and nobody is speaking English around you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're just like, bro, am I in the Matrix?
Right.
Like, why is no one else?
It wakes you up to this whole world that we have no idea even exists.
Yep.
And it's like, you know what thought makes me feel that way? Like when you think of most people in the world, like we all think of like Americans. Like we're the minority. White people in this world. This is just a world filled with Chinese people, and we're living in it.
Yeah.
Like most of the
close,
world
right?
is not us.
Yeah.
At all.
Crazy.
And people don't even think about that. I heard a comedian say that actually. Again, Louis C.K. That motherfucker. That's why I love him because the shit he says is
He's like a Dave
actually
Chappelle.
thought provoking.
Yeah.
It makes you think about your situations.
Yeah.
But like, it's the truth, man. We're in this vast world, and we don't know the fucking half of it,
Dude.
until you go out there and experience it.
There's a percentage of people that have literally still never left their home state. You know what I mean?
I've only been out of this country a handful of times, and I was younger usually, so I didn't really get a chance to experience it as an adult.
Dude, my dad's never been out of the country. My dad is almost 60 years old. He doesn't even own his passport. He doesn't even have a passport.
That's crazy. That's very surprising too. Your father.
I'm gonna bring him. I'm bringing him to Italy sometime soon. Dad, don't listen to this podcast.
He's gonna shit.
I'm bringing him to Italy sometime soon. Because if you couldn't tell, I'm a fucking Italian.
Hey,
right?
how you doing?
If you couldn't tell by the beard and the fucking earrings, and I got the fucking chain too. All right, I got the cross.
There you go.
Now,
What about this thing you got?
all right.
And
so
I know we keep letting you talk, but I'm
this
very
is
interested
step
in all this.
A, right? Like this right here, first of all, will put you in front of 99% of people. And it's not even close. This in itself, which you can get just a calendar for like $90 online, this will change your fucking year completely.
Absolutely.
And wait. Before we get into this, I got one more thing.
Yep.
There's also, okay, so you're supposed to build 4 habits. So there's 3 rules. Those are month to month. And then on this side, it has like a drawn out thing.
I saw,
over
yeah.
here. But so there's one big Misogi, Kevin's rule, 6 events a year, 1 every 8 weeks, and then there's 4 new habits a year. I'll tell you right now, me and Noel were just talking about this too. The biggest problem people have when they set goals and plan habits or whatever, they say, I'm going to go from whatever I'm doing today now, and they go and write down their goals. And I'm going to give you an example. They say, okay, I want to get down 200 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months. I want to wake up before 7 a.m. I want to read a book every day, or read 10 pages of a book every day. I want to drink a gallon of water a day. I want to take my vitamins every day. They go from doing none of that to trying to do six things all at once.
Right.
Why does everyone fail? Why does everyone New Year's resolutions fails? Because they try to go from their 20% potential to all the way at max at 100%. Everything they want to do, right? So his thing is
funny. I've seen so many people do that.
So everyone does, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start getting up at 7 a.m. I'm gonna hit the gym every day.
And it's too much. It's overwhelming. It's like a shock to your system.
Yeah,
you got to do one thing at a time.
You do that for 3 days straight, and you're gonna be like, dude, that's it.
Now, to build a habit, you got to do it for what? A month?
Yeah, that's like the thing. They tell you
what
21 days.
You created?
Well, listen, this is his thing. This is the calendar's thing.
Oh, okay.
You do one habit per quarter. Okay. So you take a habit.
Wow, that gives you plenty of time
January
to make
March,
it a real habit.
Then you go March to June, June to September.
Yeah, so
September
even something as simple as wake up at 7 o'clock for 3 months.
Yep.
That's going to become a habit.
Correct.
Probably
that's all you focus on. Don't worry
clock.
about drinking the gallon of water. Don't worry about all that.
Now, this comes with like a sheet that lines this all out for you to tell you.
Well, on the back, it has something right here.
Oh, it
that does.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But it comes with this too.
Okay, so it's in the planner as well.
This has. You got to look on this side though.
Oh, okay, that's why
Like
I just
that
saw
right
a
there.
different calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
That
this is
right there.
travel, events, books, accomplishments.
And then this is the Misogi, your Kevin's rules, your new habits.
Wow.
And you're supposed to. So like my calendar for this year coming up, I have all this written up down with Post-it notes. So I have all my Post-it notes everywhere of my planned events.
Yep.
So then if they change or whatever happens, I could take them off, move them around, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, so you're supposed to build a habit. So my habits are like no social media after 9 p.m. Because you fucking get home, bro. Just scrolling, hanging out.
Not supposed to look at that blue light.
I'm done.
At
no
night
social
either.
media after 9 a.m. is my first habit, and that's it. So from January to March, that's all I'm doing, you know? And then you go on to the second habit, which I think one of mine is. Hold up. I got it all in here. Tell you guys so you can get a couple examples.
My guy is selling for Jesse Itzler right now.
Facts.
You are being plugged, sir.
Second one is learn Italian. I'm trying to speak a little Italiano, eh?
Hey, parlo l'italiano.
And then fucking floss every day. Because motherfuckers. I be cleaning my teeth. I be flossing like once every couple of days. I need it every day. I got some big old teeth, if you can't tell.
Yeah, you
I got a lot of gaps.
What up? We got teeth in this bitch.
And then last one, start boxing. Because I've already have been doing it, but I'm going to make it I'm going to start a gym. Boxing
what's
gym.
your Misogi for the year? Although you're supposed to have
So-
one. You got like fucking 8 on
Well,
you.
Tony,
This
I
is
want
last
you to
year.
decide right now what's your Misogi.
I'm going to try and run a marathon.
See that first? You see the second? I'm going to try. You see the third word in there?
Right, try. Yeah, you know why? Because I have to do research.
I
I'm
know.
not sure if I'm going to be able to get a running leg. It's
You
not
have
that
until
simple.
January 11th.
And if it's not that, I'll find something else.
How do you feel like your current leg, like what percent are you at as compared to full running previously? If you're running now.
Well, isn't it more about like you have to
compared
get
to how
the right
I
leg?
ran with two
If
legs,
you're jogging right now, what percentage are you running compared to full running?
like 35%. That's it. If I try to do a marathon with
Well,
that,
isn't it also because of your leg, though? You need a specific leg.
well, this doesn't fit. So this part, right? My leg is constantly shrinking.
Yeah.
So this doesn't fit as well. So now I have padding in there. I'm wearing socks to try and fill it. It doesn't fit well.
Yeah.
On top of that, this leg doesn't offer that much spring. This is supposed to be a daily leg, not something you run with.
Run leg, yeah.
So I don't think I could. Sure, I could.
I'll
It's
tell
gonna be
you-
fucking I'm probably gonna kill myself.
I have
when I'm 16.
I have a Misogi on my. I have my second Misogi on my calendar at home.
Yep.
That's marathon with Tony ? Because I don't know if it's gonna happen. But
We're doing it.
Bro, when we're out together, sometimes I forget that that you're walking around with that thing. We're me and Joe, we're sprinting across the street. You're just with us, like we're going to perform over here. You're just like, and I look over and realize I'm like, shit, like my boy's got one fucking leg.
Yeah, that might have been my Misogi last year. Is just get back to normal.
It's fucking unreal.
yeah,
Thank you, appreciate that.
yeah, pretty badass. So if he does get a leg, that's a
running
pretty
leg.
badass Misogi.
And if anybody wants to, donate
you
a
up.
running leg, holler at me. You know what I'm saying? because I don't know how much them motherfuckers cost. I'm just starting to do the research.
They cost
now.
They cost a lot of money.
I know it's a lot, but I don't know how much.
They cost a lot of money. All right, now this is I honestly
the life planner.
I honestly like this almost just as much as the calendar. It's pretty fucking legit, and he's got like everything in here, like everything. But just to show you guys a couple things, when you go in here, Jesse, I better get some money for this. God damn.
Yo,
So-
if you see this, just send me one for free, please. I
Yeah,
need this
exactly.
shit.
Just send him a calendar club. Give him your email. What is it? TonyCap@PlugPV. Send him a fucking calendar, would you? This is all of it written down. So like the 4 keys, everything we are just talking about. The Misogi, Kevin's Rules, New Habit, and then daily vitamins. So this is the principles of life, or whatever. That's like page 1, I
You
guess.
started the vitamins? Who gave you that? I love my
I've been doing the vitamins, bro.
Speaking of daily life, you can't even plan a Misogi without taking vitamins, right, Tom?
I can't leave my house. Bro,
Tony's the vitamin maestro.
Within 5 feet of me at all times. I got that sack on me, son.
That's filled with
All the
just vitamins. Just vitamins.
Well, no, there's some-
Nothing else in
There's
there.
fruit in there. There's a protein shake in there.
Vitamins.
Yeah.
All right, so
Nutrients.
this is a cool thing too. It says basically rate yourself in the beginning of the year. It has all the categories. You rate yourself in the beginning, at the end, you rate yourself again, all the categories. Pretty badass too.
Wow. Like some serious accountability.
Serious.
In
This is cool as fuck too. I don't even know what to call it, but it's
there.
got
My life story in 6
words or less. Top moments in my life, your life philosophy, your
Holy
strengths,
shit.
your interesting fact about yourself, your fuck it list, which is basically, he says, take your bucket list, turn it into a fuck it list, and just do it.
Fuck it.
Favorite quote, a day in the life,
That's
dude,
dope.
all kinds of stuff. Like, I can't even fill it all out because I don't know that much about myself. Like, my interesting facts.
Right. It's amazing how introspective this becomes. And I feel like it's all about learning about yourself and your capabilities. Which
Tracking
is so
your workouts,
powerful.
your daily, dude, it's got everything.
It's like a self-challenge almost.
Yep.
I think my first Kevin's rule is gonna be get one of these and fill it out.
There you go.
I really think I'm gonna invest in
Dude,
this.
everyone I tell about it is like, okay, I really want one
I'm
now.
going to invest in this. This is
It's
fucking huge,
that
dude.
good. It really is that good. And I'm telling you guys, once you get it and like you visually see this on your wall, first of all, it makes you think years are really, or a
Very
year
short.
really isn't that long. Like,
Yeah, you're telling me.
I fill this thing up.
23. I'm 30 now. They
Yeah.
go by like this, bro.
Yeah, dude. They fill up pretty quick and pretty easily. It's not that hard to fill up this calendar with things you want to do.
Right.
And listen, you don't have to know everything you want to do. Like, that's one thing he talks about a lot on the one Zoom call we were on, is that you don't have to do everything in the beginning of the year. Like, just write down your ideas and what your main kind of things are.
Right, you're planting seeds.
And then, the camping trip could turn into a fishing trip, or the fishing trip can turn into a trip to Florida. It could be like anything.
Right.
But just put it on the calendar so it's there and it's visual. Dude, if you look at my room where my calendar is, my bed, like this, is facing directly at the calendar. And it's like 3 feet from the end of my bed.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're
literally,
probably
it is right there.
It's probably becomes exciting
Hell yeah.
because after your first year, you saw. Well, I mean, you went back and did this after the fact, but it was probably exciting to you to go back. You said you looked through your pictures
Oh, dude, it's amazing.
to find the dates of all the things you did.
Yeah.
But then, how exciting is it now that you look forward to these new things that you want to accomplish?
So big.
And you're hoping that, wow, next year my board's
Dude,
gonna
it gets
be
you
even
excited.
more- that's what I'm saying.
It gets you
That's
so
huge.
excited.
And people, we need some excitement in this world. I think we're all fucking sick and tired, like
Oh
we
my
said in the
God.
beginning of this, the way we've been living. And
Dude, it's exciting to look at this kind of stuff like, wow, I'm going to do all that in a year, and you plan it, and you actually will do it,
fuck, I'm
Like,
excited
bro,
to do this shit.
If shit's not on my calendar,
It
stop
ain't
it.
happening. Right.
It's never happening. And I'm bad. I'm really, really bad. Like, if I don't put that shit down, bro,
Yeah.
like,
I think that's huge. That's another thing I wanted to touch on. Like, even people who don't use a calendar for your day-to-day life, what a huge fucking change that's made for me. I remember when I was younger.
You use Google
and
Calendar?
Google Calendar for everything. So at this point, I use it for business, for work.
yep.
And this is more
That's
for
the same
personal.
Jesse says, though. Jesse says use that for life, and he uses his phone for business.
For business, right.
You know?
And so I remember it wasn't even that long ago. It was probably like your age. And people are like, hey, what are you doing November 30th? I'm like, November 30th.
Me and my girlfriend's birthday,
Like, it's
anniversary.
It's October. I don't even know if I'm going to be alive next week. Like, I was never thinking about planning shit out. It used to be like me and my ex-girlfriend would fight about it all the time. She's like, we have to do this in 3 weeks. And 3 weeks would come, and I'd be like, we're doing what? She's like, I told you 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, I don't fucking...
Dude,
like,
I'm so
not
bad.
thinking about shit like that.
I'm so
But then I
bad.
started utilizing a calendar, and holy shit. I only really started doing it for business, for work, so I could hold myself accountable and get the things done that I needed to get done. Now, I've never used it in a personal way like this, but holy shit. You know, just seeing it and thinking about it, wow,
Dude,
why
I'm just
isn't
as bad
everyone
as
doing
you.
this? Why wouldn't people be doing this? What a smart way for us to hold
He
ourselves
even talks
accountable.
about like planning your dentist appointment. Like call up your fucking dentist beginning of the year and
that
do
I
your
got on my
appointment.
calendar. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean for...
But,
Okay, yeah. 'cause
like
that
I
could be a
never, bro.
personal
I haven't
thing.
been to the doctor in like 4 years, to be honest with you.
Same.
I haven't been to the doctor in 4
I've
years.
actually been going to the doctor lately.
Well, you
'cause I
kind of
have
got a
to.
reason. Me, I've been to the doctor in 4 years. I didn't even have a doctor.
Dude, I don't have a personal care. What's it called? A personal
It's called a primary care.
primary care
There you go.
physician.
So like
I
that's
ain't
the
got
other
one.
shit.
I still don't have one.
Dude, listen, this trip to Greece, I fucking booked 2 weeks before. I booked a 2-week trip to Greece, never been.
Right.
Me and my girlfriend, Airbnbs, travel, plane rides, ferries to the next island 2 weeks before.
Right.
So I can't. That's how I am now. I'm trying to do this to be a little bit more
Right.
thoughtful, you know. And this made the biggest difference.
Yeah,
Dude, it's hard for me to just sit down and be like, all right, what do I want to do this year? And write it on paper. Like this, having the dates and having like, okay, I could see, well, I can't do that here because I just did that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you actually write it down and plan it. Like writing, I want to go to Florida is nothing. Putting it on your calendar, post a note and saying, I'm going to go to Florida on October 6th.
Right. It's an
to 9th.
organized way of manifesting.
So good.
Which is huge, which is another
So
thing
good.
everyone should be doing, is manifesting your goals. Like
This is a
you.
testament to, I don't want to cut you off,
No, go on.
but people who are highly engaged in business being able to just plan Misogis. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Plan their personal life.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the biggest downfall of people.
Yeah.
That's the
Everybody's
biggest
planning their
downfall,
work.
bro.
Like if you hadn't introduced this to me, I'd probably just still continue.
If
to
I
only
say, what
use
are your
my
goals for
account-
this year? Guess what everyone does? I want to get 50 sales this year.
Right.
Immediately work.
goals. But what about your
Immediately.
life? What about your building your personal portfolio?
And the better you are at this, the better you are at work. When you can get excited about life,
Yeah.
you're going to be good at
Oh,
work.
of course.
You're going to be good at work. Not the other way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You,
Being good
you don't
at work
get
will
excited
not
at
make
work.
you-
Correct.
Yeah, I know tons of
Usually
people
it
who are
makes
very
you
successful,
worse at life.
Yeah, very successful in their work and have no social life and do not take the time they should to enjoy their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's just slipping away from under them. And it's like you gotta fucking go live your life.
There's 4 buckets: family or relationships, physical, financial, and relationships. So it's family, physical, financial, and relationships. So those are the 4 buckets of
So
life,
like health, wealth.
basically.
family,
Oh yeah,
friends.
sorry. The last one or the first one is health. I'm sorry. Health? No, it's not. Fuck. Yeah, no, that's right. Family, physical, financial, and the relationships. And it's basically saying those 4 categories, if you're wealthy in 2 of them, but the other 2 suck, you're not that good. Like if you have a really, really good, my body's great and I make a lot of money, but your family life is shit,
Yeah.
and you have no friends, what's your life really worth?
Yeah, it's-
Or the other way around.
Right.
If you have a lot of friends and a great family, but you're dead broke and you're fat,
Balance,
how's your life
baby.
really,
It's
you
the
know?
yin yang. You gotta balance it all out.
oh.
Which
And
is
that's
very hard for people, but this is a great tool to do it. I mean, I feel like everybody I know at the age we're at now, we've all found our place in the working world, but people aren't taking that time to build their, you know, what's that quote or the guy you always talk about who's like, make sure, you know, what's the story of your life going to be like?
Yeah.
How's that book going to read?
Yeah.
Is it going to be interesting as fuck? Or are you
Correct.
just going to be that guy who had that job?
Imagine you had Bryce following you around every day, taking videos of you. You're every moment of the day. What kind of life would you want? Like,
I'm
what
gonna go
would
to
you
jail,
live?
First of all,
Yeah.
If he's got a camera, I'm going right to prison.
Well, good. That's a fucking good thing, bro.
It's a good
What's
story.
that guy, Nick Diaz? I think it is. Who's like, listen. He goes. You ever been at a guy and he does nothing? Like he does nothing. He's got no fucking goals. He's got no life. He's got nothing. He's like, And he starts screaming on the podcast. He's like, if you do drugs, that's great. If you do cocaine, that's great. Do it. Like, he's like, motherfucker, do something. And he's like, starts
Just
going
do
off
something.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
So true, dude.
Your
Just
book's
fucking
got to be interesting, man. Your life's got to be a good read, or what
You
the
gotta
fuck
have
was the
some
point
kind
of
of fun,
any of
bro.
it? What was the point of it?
Dude, if you made $3 million last year and you never fucking took a vacation, you never did nothing. I don't know. Maybe if you have to for a year or two to like start the business.
Yeah.
But if for a whole decade, man,
Well, that's
your
different.
life's
If
just
you're-
not
If
interesting.
you're grinding, that's kind of impressive. That's cool. That's a good chapter. But if you're just doing that your whole life, then that's not a good book.
Yeah.
It's a good chapter, though.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's the 0.001% of people that are just sick and they just work. Like Elon
well,
Musk,
look at the world
Bill
we grew
Gates.
up in, bro.
They're
That's what you're taught. You're supposed to do. Like, when in school do they say, "Oh yeah, work hard, but oh yeah, enjoy yourself, go live your life, make sure you're happy"? When do they teach you about any of that shit? Nobody ever said that. Make sure you're happy. I mean, people say it to you in passing, but there's no teaching of it.
Where's a class in college on how to be happy?
Don't exist. Yo, like, that does sound like a laughable idea, but fuck, how important is that? Is that
Buddy,
should that not be
you know how
number
many
one
people
in
are
life?
depressed?
When I was
You know how many people are depressed and like fucked up because they can't find their avenue?
What do you have to say to the younger people who maybe don't have their finances and life goals figured out? How can they find
Good.
some happiness?
You
Yeah,
shouldn't,
you don't-
bro.
yeah, you don't have
You
to have
shouldn't
it all
have
figured
shit
out.
figured out, bro.
No, but
I
you
didn't
gotta
have
be-
anything figured out until I started working at Plug PV, and 6 months in, I'm like, wait, this is pretty fucking cool. I should probably keep doing this.
Right.
But I still didn't know even when I got
Get
the job.
organized, right?
Your thing to answer Bryce's question is good, dude. You shouldn't have everything fucking figured out.
But
The-
you should be working toward it.
I mean, yeah, of course. If you're a lazy fuck and you're a lazy
You should
fuck,
have
then
goals.
This message ain't gonna change the lazy fuck anyway. I don't care what I say.
You lazy bitch. I see you sitting there.
But a guy
eating
who's
your
like
chips.
actively like when I was 17, 18, I was doing a bit. I fucking got arrested. I was doing a bunch of different shit because I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I was at least living. Like the Patrick Bet David, the guy I was listening to, has a theory. Your first 20 years of life, you have one goal. Just don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
First 20 years of life, just don't
Just get
fuck up.
through it.
Don't fucking
Get through it.
shoot somebody and go to jail.
Right.
Don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just 20 years, your first
I
20
had
years,
some
be
bad
fine.
chapters when I was younger too, man.
Me too.
I lived, but it would be a good read. You'd be surprised about.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Nah,
Let me
I'm
just
not-
finish
I'm
this
not gonna
point.
disclose a lot of that information.
From 20 to 40, your next 20 years, just make your money. Do whatever you need to do. You don't have to necessarily do exactly what you love. And for the next 20 years after that, so 20 to 40, 40 to 50, 40 to 60, 60 on, those last 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, however you live, needs to be whatever you want to do. Like, you
Yeah.
should be so good in those 20 years, the 20 to 40, that after that, bro, you just do whatever
the
you
fuck
want. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, if you worked hard enough, you'll
Like,
be able
personally,
to.
I want to have a shelter. My thing is I want to have a shelter where I rescue dogs. Like, I rescue pit bulls or
Really?
whatever, bro.
I never knew
If
that.
I could do that and just make money somehow,
I
if you
didn't
could put me
fucking
in
know
fucking
that.
Chicago where there's mad dogs running around and pit bulls, everything, and
You're
I
getting
could just
shot
run a
and bit,
shelter.
bro. Don't go to Chicago.
Jill's trying to get me to go to Chicago for
Scary
Plug
out
PV.
there.
Well, listen, that's where you got to go though for pit bulls and to rescue dogs, because that's where
That's where it's
they
at.
leave them. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you could do that in New York.
I'm just giving an example of Chicago. Yeah.
No, I think Chicago's probably worse.
Chicago murder rate
Chicago's
is
the
worse,
murder
way
capital,
worse.
bro.
Chicago's murder rate is a lot worse, but it's not. New York also has some benefits. Chicago just, I feel like, has no benefits. It snows way more.
Yeah.
It snows like triple the amount.
Motherfuckers are
It's
so
way
miserable
colder.
out there. The best thing that can happen to you is you get murdered.
God damn, dude. That's a different story. But anyway, that's like, personally, bro, if you gave me $20 million and I didn't have to work again the rest of my life, I would go open up a dog shelter and just have mad animals. Probably all animals. Fucking lizards, birds. I don't give a fuck.
Lizards.
I had 2 sugar gliders when I was younger. Ever told you this? I had 2 flying squirrels.
The sugar.
I used to have?
Yeah, I've seen. I didn't know you had them. No.
They're crazy animals, dude. They're nuts. So there's a whole story, and I'm not even going to tell anyone how the first one died because it is not a good story. But anyway,
Damn, bro.
they become companions. No, not even close. Way worse.
Yeah, they need.
They
attention or
they
they'll
become
die, right?
companions. So like, dude, they have to be around another life being
Or they'll.
like 4 to 6 hours a day minimum. they have to have a companion in life, whether that's you or another sugar glider.
Yeah.
So I had 2 of them, right? So they could be companions because I wasn't around that much. When the one died, the other one killed itself because it lost its companion.
That's crazy.
It wouldn't eat. It wouldn't do anything.
That's crazy.
It would not fucking move.
That's awful.
And it just died. Crazy, right?
It's fucked.
Those animals are nuts. Dude, I'm not even going to get into it. That's a whole story about those guys.
It shows how important relationships are.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, it's almost like a
Dude, we're
metaphor.
social creatures. That's all we are.
My inner sugar glider. We'll die without you. I'll stop eating.
What would you do without him, man? What would you do without him?
I hang out with you. That's why I keep 2
a good
sugar
answer.
gliders in my back pocket,
Yeah,
bitch,
baby.
just in case one of y'all dies. I got a backup.
Fucking funny.
Oh,
funny.
man.
All right, well.
I think I'm going to buy 2 of these. And I think an important thing that you did without it even being advice from Itzler is you went back and recapped to show that you were doing
How I
these
did,
things.
yeah. And I also wanted it for my
Because I've
keep
done some things now that I've been thinking a lot about this. Like, I wish we talked a little before the podcast because now I'm in my head about this shit. But I think it's important that you look at what you have been doing and then you make those changes as well into
So
the next
important.
year. And what a perfect time to go and get this. 2022 just started.
Yeah.
Hold yourself accountable for your goals this
Listen,
year.
man, when you're
Decide
40
what your goals are, personal and working.
No. When you're 40 and you pull this thing out, you pull out 10 of
Oh,
them
that too.
from 30 to 40, and you lay them out on the floor, and you're like, dude, look at all I've
Right.
done in my life. You're not gonna remember it. Tell me what you ate for breakfast 2 days ago. Go fuck yourself. You don't know. You don't know.
I have no idea.
Like if you could just see everything you've done. You have these planners. You have all this shit,
Right.
dude. You know what I mean?
And that's another thing. I always forget about the things I've done in my life. I have people tell me all the time, yo, bro, remember that time we did this? And it was like, they like reopened this
Yeah.
memory that was gone to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that was fucking amazing. How did I forget about that? But it's just like, if you don't talk about it or write it down or have it somewhere where you can go revisit it, you never will.
Dude, when I get a big ass house and I got a huge office in my house, these will be literally
The wallpaper?
walls. Yeah, will
That's
just be
crazy.
all of them, fucking probably in cases so that they don't deteriorate on my walls hung up.
Nah, that's awesome.
You know,
That's fucking awesome.
like that's so much more important to me than work. I know my work well and I'm gonna be good at that. But
I'm going to,
when you die, you're gonna think about this shit. You know?
yeah, I'm going to order this and I'm going to go watch The Secret.
Jesse, give me 10% of that because I just sold him.
Actually, send me one for free. I'll wait. We're gonna put my email on this bitch.
You know, there is a yin and yang to like. So this is all about planning. This is about the future. This is about your future. There's also recording what you've done.
Right, that's what I was just getting at.
Right.
He bought 2 so that he could go back and.
Are you
write
saying like
about-
record it?
I'm just saying, like personally, as being a recording artist for the last 10 years of my life, I have all of these
Videos.
songs just where I literally write my life and I have it forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And the original version of that is people just journaling and things, writing and whatever it is, if it's a creative writing, if it's literally journal entries about your day, having that there to look back on, reflect based on what you've achieved and accomplished further
Right.
from that is I think it's important.
And it always seems so minuscule in the moment, but if you
Yes,
had the
always.
chance to revisit even a stupid little thing, like, do you know what I would give to be? Remember my boy Evan who passed away? You know what I would give to sit and just like watch TV with him for 5 minutes, and how unimportant that was at the time,
Right.
but then in retrospect, like that was everything. That was magic. And like this, even like this shit, this podcast, I know we're going to blow up in 5 years and it's going to be huge, but like,
Huge.
it's a good thing this is recorded because I'm going to watch this in the future. Shout out me. How you doing? Hope it's better than you are now, bro. And it's going to be amazing.
Not only does it reflect like literally the words you say and what you're talking about, but I think more importantly, these videos will reflect your mind state at the time.
Yeah.
Where you were at. You're able to, because
That's why
when
I
you
said, I hope
watch
you're in a better
yourself
place.
back, you're not thinking about, oh, I just talked about a calendar. You're thinking about, wow, look at like our interaction and what I'm referencing and where I'm at mentally.
Right.
Inside your head.
Right. And where the state of the world. hopefully we're watching this 5 years from now and nobody even remembers what the fuck coronavirus is.
Watching on the metaverse.
Yeah. Oh, put your headsets on. Not for too long though.
I think you guys have to have a callback to the metaverse every single.
I know. We always
episode,
that was so
because
interesting.
it's crazy.
The metaverse is nuts.
I've been seeing
it's
so
gonna
much
be the
of it.
fucking future, no doubt. No doubt.
I've been seeing so much of it. I feel like maybe it's just because I'm talking about it and it's in my
Well-
RAS, but
Let's not start talking about the metaverse though. What else we got, boys?
that's all I got.
That's it?
We talked all about our planning. My biggest piece of advice, bro, is when you're gonna make a habit, because all this is really just trying to create habits. Like you're trying to create the habit of going away. You're trying to create a habit of have one big thing a year. Is what I said before.
First wake up.
What?
What time do you wake up and what do you do?
I wake up.
First 30 minutes when you open your eyes.
All depends. Every day is pretty different just because my schedule's always fucking changing right
Hop
now
in
and
the
I haven't
shower.
really figured it out.
Hop in the shower. If I shower the night before,
Well,
I
I'll
don't
tell you
care.
what. The first 5 days of the year, every day I wake up, I've been writing in this. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I've been writing this stuff down. Like I have one part in the end. Hold up. Where it has notes, and I write down my 3 or 4 business goals. It's just one thing at the end. I write them down every day, so I'm always thinking about them.
Yeah.
And I schedule my workouts in here and write them down, what I'm doing. And then most of the time I usually hang out with my dog first 30 minutes. As soon as I get up, my dog looks at me and he knows I'm up and then he gets all excited and I'm like, let's go, bro. And we go outside or something. So that's usually my thing. And listen, I'll be honest, dude. I'm totally not big on like the first 30 minutes. You need to meditate. You need to do this. The only thing I'll say to people is in the first hour or two, you need to move. Like
Yeah.
my first 2 hours of my day, dude, if I don't work out or just go on a walk or something, I'm shot.
Bro, that's why
If I don't work
said-
out in the morning, I'm shot.
Well, I don't need to work out, but that's why I said shower. So everybody knows when you're hygienic, that gives you, for some reason, cleaning yourself and like brushing your teeth or washing your face, it just gives you energy.
Look good, feel good.
You feel so good when you're, I don't know what the word is for it, but the little things you do to be hygienic.
Self-care.
You know what it is?
Self-care, there you go.
It's attention to little details. The guy in Need for Sale too. He said this one time. When you wear a custom fitted suit, you just feel
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so much little attention to detail, and you feel so perfect and clean. Like everything is fit to the crisp. It's because there's so much attention to detail. So when you wake up and you're brushing your teeth, you're doing all that, you've paid
Done
attention.
little things,
you know,
yeah.
you've done the little things that make up for the big things.
And I just feel fucking motivated after that.
Dude, if I don't work out in the morning or do something, I'm screwed up the whole day. I literally can't. I won't knock on doors. I won't do anything.
Yeah.
I have to start off in the beginning of the day. And really, for me, it's just win the battle. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to work out, so I got to go win the battle, and then the rest of the day is easy, you know?
People think it's motivation, then action. It's action, then motivation.
And the biggest part of the day is the previous night for me. Like, if at night,
yeah.
bro, if I'm scrolling on my phone or I'm playing video games,
Oh, so important.
Yeah.
I have to sleep like a baby.
if I read that night and I go to sleep, it doesn't even have to be on time, just the quality of sleep. Like, if I stop looking at my phone, if I didn't drink caffeine, if I had a lot of water, I took my vitamins that night, and I go to sleep without, just regularly falling asleep, I wake up feeling so energized. And I plan my day. I always look at my calendar and see what I got to do the next day. That's huge for me. I pull up my laptop. I look at my Google Calendar. Dude, if you look at my calendar, I have
Which one? You look at your work calendar.
Google
night
Calendar,
before.
yes. I'll have, we had the podcast today, 9:30 or whatever I had written down, 10 o'clock. You'll see there, it has 15 minutes. I have a yellow bar and it says travel. I book to the 15 minutes of my driving, how far I'm going to be going, like everything.
Oh, you're fucking nuts.
I do everything. I have to, bro. If I don't do that, my days are shot. If
Showed
there's a
up-
white
showed
space
up a
in
half
my
hour late
calendar,
today.
yeah, I know. I know, it drove me nuts.
Please let it go. Listen, for so long I used to ignore or neglect those little in-betweens, like the time while you're brushing your teeth. Like being conscious in those moments and really brushing every teeth. Think about every tooth. And then you put it down and you wash your hands and you really feel like where you're washing.
Yeah.
Think about it. Instead of just like, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, I'm just getting through it,
Yeah.
Nah, if you take moments in those in-betweens, you can feel complete.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's just about being
So
present
big.
in
So
every
big.
moment. You got to be actually present instead of just fucking waltzing through your day and getting it over with.
Yeah. Well, listen, 2022, you want to make it great, I suggest you get a nice Build Your Life resume calendar.
Yeah.
If you can't buy it or you just don't want to, just fucking write down something. You're 80% better. There's a 80% better chance that if you just write down what you want to do, that you'll probably get it done rather than not writing it. So even if you don't want to buy this or the calendar or do any of this stuff, just do a little bit to yourself. You know, also, I'm not saying resolutions. I think resolutions are bullshit. Like, actually write down. Oh, I just told you everything that's basically on the calendar. You don't even need to buy it. Fuck.
Right.
Your 4 habits, your Misogis, like.
Yeah, but people need to buy things to hold themselves accountable.
I know, 100%.
In the world we live in nowadays. But it's true. You're never going to reach your goals if you don't pick goals. You're never going to reach anything. And I think we talked about this. I think me and Bryce were talking about this a little while ago because I was talking about let's sit down and write down our goals for the year. And what a perfect timing. Now we got something to actually do it with. But if you don't have a vision and you're not looking at somewhere where you want to go, you're never going to go anywhere. You're just going to stay where you're at. So I think that's enough said about all of that.
Also, I went snowboarding 8 times last year. That's some good shit right there.
Very important, yo. Go snowboarding 8 times a year.
Build your life resume, Jesse Itzler. Shout out. Thank you for the calendar. I'll see you in, I don't know, a week.
Make the most of your year, people. Make the most of your life. Live in the moment. Write it down and seek it out. Let's go.
Happy New Year, bitches.
Hey, look.
Yeah, just snaring my eye. All right, I'm not fucking wearing that thing.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the party.
Change for gym class?
Yeah.
What a weird concept. I forgot about it.
Bro, that whole thing was stupid. It's like gym. They want you to get sweaty in second period, and then you gotta change back in the normal clothes.
Yeah,
and be sweaty all day.
Doesn't make no sense.
So like, why don't you go shower?
I used to wild out in gym class. I would go. I was like one of the kids in gym class who would. You're like, bro, chill the fuck out. 9 a.m. And I was like, nah, fuck you. You wanna play football? Raise your down.
Hands on my knees. Hands on my knees.
2022, man!
2 dudes,
Adam's
3
legit.
legs. That's the podcast.
Adam's
If I
legit.
went to your girl's house, I got ass.
I know.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
2022 is gonna be a big year.
It's Q29, it's Mob, it's Joe Caps, it's Keith, it's ZD, Zach Dingy.
Yeah.
In the building, in the building.